Hey, football fans, welcome back to another episode of Lions Latest, the show where we gather around and talk about the greatest team in the NFL, the Detroit Lions. I'm your host, Bryan Hanes, and we have some stuff ahead of the game tonight against the Buccaneers to talk about. So let's jump straight into the video. But yeah, you guys did say I needed more Lions stuff on my shelf, and my mom was cool enough to get that made, so we got some cooler stuff on the shelf now. Go Lions. Thanks, Mom. So starting off, we're just talking about the game. I know we've talked about it a lot, but what are some narratives going into the game tonight, and what is something that fans can really follow along with? Well, the first thing is that Tampa Bay is riding a two-game winning streak right now with Baker Mayfield, who has really taken on an MVP level of play recently. And despite the Bucks dealing with a handful of injuries on their offense, with key players like Bucky Irving, Mike Evans, and Mika Egbuka, Mayfield has still lifted Tampa Bay's unit into one of the most lethal passing offenses in the league, which is kind of insane despite the fact that they don't really have any receivers, starting receivers. As for Detroit, the Lions are coming off of a pretty disappointing loss to the Chiefs in Arrowhead, but it was the first time since week one that we had actually failed to score 30 plus points in a game. Um, I don't think that's necessarily like, oh, well, we're screwed now. We're not scoring 30 bombs every game. But definitely losing to the Chiefs was disappointing, especially going in thinking that maybe we had that one locked up, seeing how they lost to the Jags and everything, but just wasn't the case. So, what are a kind of few narratives that we can follow in tonight's game that will really help us kind of, get more into it rather than just watching Lions versus whoever, right? Well, first of all, Mayfield is looking to keep competing for that MVP level, contesting, right? The MVP chatter around Baker Mayfield has been heating up in the last few weeks and starts to kick off the 2025 season. Certainly put him in the conversation for that MVP race among the best quarterbacks so far, even with injuries happening on their guys. Like we mentioned, Bucky Irving's a huge one, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, who's just kind of been out, came back and was out again, and Tristan Wirfs have missed a game or more this season. Baker Mayfield has captained the ship just fine despite this happening, and missing talented pieces on their offense from week to week has definitely made fans worrisome. But Baker Mayfield is the only quarterback with more than 10 pass touchdowns and one interception, so he's making it happen despite what's going on, despite the adversity. That scares me a little bit, especially now that he's coming into our house Monday Night Football. He's fired up, he knows the stakes. He's definitely going to be playing like he's leaving it all on the turf, right? The Bucks offense faces a Detroit defense, though, that allowed 13 pass touchdowns so far, which is tied for the fourth most in the league. So the fact that our defense has already allowed so many passing touchdowns, and now we're without our starting secondary against a guy who's been torching secondaries with backups. Yeah, but it's a little scary. It's a little scary for sure. And then there's going to be more help for Tampa Bay because rookie star wide receiver Emeka Egbuka and Mike Evans are officially questionable for Monday's game. Egbuka leads all rookie wide receivers in receptions right now with 27, receiving yards with 469, and touchdowns at 5. So Emeka Egbuka is just a weapon on his own, just coming out as a rookie. And Mike Evans, we know Mike Evans is Mr. Consistent, so he's going to end that season with 1,000 yards one way or another. Who knows if we're the game he gets that chunk out of, right? So yeah, if Mike Evans comes back, we're really going to be in some trouble. Emeka Egbuka, I don't think will be coming back this game. I think Mike Evans definitely has a better chance to, just based off of practices and stuff. We'll go into that for a little bit. But let's talk about the Lions situation, right? Well, the Lions quarterback leads the league with 14 pass touchdowns and a 75.9% completion percentage entering week 7. Jared Goff's been doing a great job. Detroit's matchup against Todd Bowles, though, his defense, the way he plans, is an intriguing one because Goff has been the best so far this season versus the blitz. And we know the Bucks defense really loves to run these blitz packages. They have a 35.5% blitz percentage. Fifth highest in the NFL, while Goff leads all quarterbacks with a 137.1 passer rating against the blitz, according to Next Gen Stats. When Goff has to make an intermediate throw, 10 to 19 air yards, he ranks first with 530 passing yards and 153.9 passer rating. So this is interesting. I think this is going to be an offensive game, guys. And for all my offensive football fans, this is the game for you, right? Uh, but I think Jared Goff, we're going to see some great stuff out of him, especially with Taylor Decker supposed to be coming back. I think the line will be good, and if they run any blitzes, it just shows Jared Goff knows where to look. on blitzes. We have St. Brown for quick stuff. We have JMO over the top if we can pick up the blitz. We have Sam Laporta everywhere, right? This is definitely the kind of game where, as much as it sucks for us because our secondary is out and they might have some guys coming back that are going to torch us, Jared Goff just kind of counters their defensive style. And I'm really, really, really interested to see how it's going to play out tonight. It really will just be okay, they're going to go out and score an offense. Can we answer? Are they going to start pulling away? Are they going to get up by 2 scores? And by that, can our defense make a stop to get us back in? It's going to be a really big question of who's just going to go score more consistently. And I think, that's every game, but especially this game because our defense is taking a big hit. But I think our offense will be able to operate well against their defense. And the last thing for this game is I just want to see some more David Montgomery. We've talked about it in the viewer comment sections a lot and all that good stuff. But Montgomery is a huge piece of our offense, and kind of getting him going early, I think, is going to give us definitely a better chance to open up play action and stuff like that. And like the last guy said in the comment, the tenderizer, weaken down that line and everything, and then once they're a little tired, throw in Jahmyr Gibbs and have him break out for 30-plus yard runs. That's my opinion on the game. Let me know what you guys think. I'd love to read it before the game tonight. That'll take us into our second topic. I know we've talked about injuries a ton. I'm sure you guys are annoyed, but this is just more than that, right? We're taking a look at the injury sheet and then who is going to be officially filling in, right? Well, for the Buccaneers, Lamonte David, the linebacker, is actually questionable. He did have full participation in Saturday's practice, but Friday and Thursday, he did not play at all. He's dealing with a knee/rib injury. If he's out, that could be a huge, huge, huge piece missing for the Buccaneers defense, as well as Emeka Egbuka. We've already talked about him. He had limited play in Saturday's practice because of a hamstring injury. I have a feeling he won't be playing in this game, or he would just be in there for a couple plays. Mike Evans, the one who I think will be coming back, he's dealing with a hamstring injury. And he's questionable right now. Practice on Thursday, he had limited play. Friday, he did not play. But then Saturday, he was a full participant. I think at worst, he's out there as a distraction. And if he's pulling 2 of our people in the secondary away from everyone else, I'm sure Baker Mayfield is going to be able to make a read. Chris Godwin out with that fibula injury. He did not play all week. Luke Haggard, the guard, did not play Saturday. Missing that guard would be bad for them. It would give our defense maybe a better chance to go in and prevent them from even getting the ball out of the pocket. Bucky Irving, running back, foot and shoulder. We already know about that. And then some other corners are currently questionable, but had full participation the last few days, so I feel like they'll be good to go. On our side, Terrion Arnold not playing. He had limited practice actually on Friday, but did not participate on Saturday or Thursday, so maybe just getting back in some reps going, starting to feel it a little bit, right? Zach Cunningham was a full participant this week in practice. Great to have him back. Great backup linebacker. Taylor Decker did not participate in Saturday, but had limited practice on Friday and Thursday. So I'm thinking maybe he's just resting that shoulder, right? I'm hoping he's ready to go. We know Kirby Joseph is now officially out, which sucks. Because now our whole secondary is backups, basically. He did not participate all week. He's been dealing with that knee injury. Hopefully he just takes care of it, comes back after the bye, and we have both of our safeties at full health. That would be great. Vontae Maddox out dealing with that hamstring injury. Ali McNeil is thankfully back. I hope he goes on a tear tonight and has his big reunion game with the team. Just goes crazy. Khalif Raymond still out with that personal stuff. Neck, I'm sure, too. And DJ Reader, the defensive tackle who's been dealing with a back injury, did not participate in Saturday's practice. Or rather, had just had limited participation. Same with Friday, but he did not participate Thursday. It just shows me that he got better from Thursday, getting back into practice. Hopefully DJ Reader plays, but if not, having Aleem McNeil back definitely kind of relieves him a little bit. Still, we would want to have him back. And then, so what does this mean? So then who is starting? Well, having Kirby Joseph out is really not good for us, but we kind of knew it was going to happen. So it was really the question of who is going to step up and take over that spot. Well, our starting safeties tonight are Thomas Harper and Eric Hallett. Pardon me. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. And our starting corners tonight are going to be Amik Robertson and Rocky Sin. So Rocky Sin, who I thought was going to maybe move up to that safety position. He had practiced a lot in camp, is staying at corner alongside Amik Robertson. I'm sure Amik will be the outside corner. And then our starting safeties, Thomas Harper and Eric Hallett. I had a feeling Thomas Harper was probably going to fill in. Eric Hallett stepping up instead of Rocky Sin. Bit of a surprise for me. But I think it's what are you gonna A or B really at that point, and they'll move him around if they need to. Am I worried about our secondary? Absolutely. I think every Lions fan should be. Now, does that mean I have no faith in our team? Absolutely not. I think our pass rush is going to be elite tonight. I think our linebackers are going to be on point tonight. I think if we prevent them from even getting Rashad White, 2 yards a carry, we just don't let him go anywhere. It really forces them into that passing game for most of the series. And if we can just force them to pass every single time, we know what the play is going to be. We can just plan around it. We can start running some good blitz packages, right? I think if we can get into a rhythm quicker than they can and we don't allow them to establish their run game, we have a really good chance of just kind of moving away from this game. That's what I think, though. Let me know what you guys think. It's going to take us to our third topic. Now, hold on. Does that say Brad Holmes is making a trade move? That couldn't possibly be it. Well, after an entire offseason of Lions fans basically getting a little annoyed with the front office ignoring a major need, it appears that the Lions are looking to finally address it. That is the need of an edge rusher, where the Lions don't have a great situation opposite of Aiden Hutchinson. After failing to adequately address the position during the offseason, it looks like it might be time to grab somebody. Now, that does not mean I don't think Al-Qadim Muhammad has been good. He's the current starter where there's Marcus Davenport on injury reserve. That's just where he likes to hang out. Uh, there remains to be seen when Davenport will be back. Surprise, surprise. And while he did get off to a hot start with the season, Muhammad did cool down a little bit recently, only having 1 sack in his last 3 games. Although he was fantastic against the Ravens, and I think that in its own was just kind of like a wow, you could contain Lamar Jackson. Good for you, buddy. After what we have seen all year long, it was hard to have faith in general manager Brad Holmes every single day. I won't say it was hard in general, making a move for an edge rusher at the trade deadline, but now it appears that he's finally considering it. According to The Athletic's Diana Rossini, the Lions are indeed shopping around for an edge rusher ahead of the November 4th deadline. For starters, elite edge rushers don't just grow on trees. They're just not everywhere, right? It's a very rare thing when you find someone who is an elite pass rusher. Not a great one, not a good one, right? But then also an elite one that is now available for trade because most teams want to hang on to those guys. Also, the Lions aren't really in a position to make any big long-term contracts happen with any of the major stars in the NFL because of our shaky 2026 cap situation. The Lions only have about a projected 2.5 million in cap space, so it's definitely not going to be someone big, a huge name, right? So while we'd love to see Detroit go all in for that massive upgrade, chances are it's not going to happen, barring said edge rusher coming over with an expiring deal, right? So probably no Trey Hendrickson. I think that's the first thing everyone's mind goes to. Trey Hendrickson. Now we can go get Trey Hendrickson. He doesn't want to be there. The team's collapsing. Yeah, except we just can't pay the guy. I think guys like Jalen Phillips, though, absolutely. 26 years old. He's on a Dolphins team that is currently collapsing and is probably going to lose their head coach by the end of the season. If I'm him, I'd want to go somewhere where I have a position to win, right? Get myself out of this horrible situation, what's going on in my team right now. Since 2021, he's had a bit of a career too. He's technically a linebacker, but also listed as a pass rusher. He's made 171 tackles, 25 sacks, 1 forced fumble, and 3 fumble recoveries, as well as an interception. So definitely high ceiling, room to improve, but he's had some really solid stats so far, and I think he could be the kind of guy we bring in to rotate. Just saying, I don't have like an exact prediction here for who it is going to be, but right now we know it's not going to be someone as expensive as Trey Hendrickson. I think a guy like him kind of fits what we're looking for right now in terms of budget. But you guys let me know what you think. I'm just kind of excited that Brad Holmes is finally looking to add somebody instead of just every year trying to get someone from the draft. Once in a while, you do have to make a trade for a guy that's going to end up benefiting your team in a position where we're really good. We just need that one extra little piece. That's what I think. Finally, some comments ahead of Monday Night Football. Starting with Scorpio Moon 18. Love this comment, by the way. It was really, really awesome. Scorpio Moon says, first of all, Brian, I hope I'm spelling your name correctly. It was with an I. I do spell my name with a Y, but it really don't matter. They say, I absolutely love Lions Latest. This is a great channel, nephew. I can't wait to see how it grows exponentially. I think that gaining Aleem McNeil along the defensive line is monumental for us surviving or against the surging Buccaneers team led by Baker Mayfield. We've already proved ourselves against the greatest rushing quarterback threat in the NFL in Lamar Jackson, so Baker Mayfield's mobility versatility, though dangerous as well, should be doable for our pass rushers such as Hutch and Al-Qadim Muhammad. On the edges, especially with number 54 newly installed in the middle with the other space eaters. Besides, the whole Brian Branch NFL hit job scandal has awakened a ferocious beast in Lions Nation, and our beloved Honolulu Blue and Silver will surely take no prisoners against Tampa Bay as a result. Hashtag Go Lions, hashtag Detroit versus everybody. Heck yeah. Talk about getting fired up the day of a game. Huge game, too. This definitely gets me fired up, Scorpio. I mean, you got the hair on my arm sticking up a little bit. I'm super hyped, and I agree with you. Ali McNeil is a huge addition, especially ahead of a game where we need our pass rush to step up a little bit more than normal. Having him back it's amazing. And I thought we weren't going to have him back till past the trade or past our bye. So this is really, really good for us. Good surprise. And yeah, the Brian Branch NFL hit scandal thing, I think it's opened up a lot more recently. And Dan Skipper even went and added the NFL for trying to make a bad narrative about his guy, Brian Branch. And he went and it's like, Dan Skipper's standing up. Let's go, dude. So I think obviously we're fired up about this. And this is going to be a game where it's like you play with a little bit of a vengeance. Yeah, I totally agree with you on that one. I think we will be playing a little more competitive than normal. But I really appreciate that so much. Thank you so much for the love, for the support. I really do appreciate it, and I appreciate every single comment I hear from you guys. Thank you so much. And second, Superman 24 says, as far as the secondary goes, there are not going to be any good players out there to pick up. If we want a decent player, it would have to be via trade. I think the Lions will continue with the next man up mentality because our stars will be back soon. Mike Evans is coming off a hamstring injury, so even if he is in the lineup, I think you'd be more of a decoy, or they would maybe have him on the snap count. I hope to have him on. I have him on my fantasy team, and I'm probably not going to even start him yet. I hope I'm right, and he does not go off in the same way. I have him in 2 leagues, and I'm just like, no, not starting him. Don't start. Don't pop off. Don't make me upset. I totally see what you're saying there. But yeah, at this point with corners, I think now that we know Terrion Arnold's going to be back a little sooner than expected, it's just next man up mentality for the next couple weeks, especially with the bye week giving us a little more time. Totally agree with what you're saying there. Thank you so much for your comment, Superman24, and hopefully we do a great job tonight in Monday Night Football. With that being said, we are way out of time today. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Lions Latest. If you made it to this point in the video, tell me what you guys think about Monday Night Football and what you guys think about the trade rumor and who you'd like to see Brad go make a move for. With that being said, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell so you never miss a single video here. Enjoy the rest of your day. Go Lions tonight, and I will see you guys in the next video.